Hey there, I'm just going to show you a quick tip of how you can up your cooking game and add like major flavor to your cooking by just doing the simple thing of grinding your own herbs. This can apply to any herb that's kind of like a seed. You can also do it with onion, flaked onion, dried garlic. The idea here is just to make sure that whatever it is you buy is in its original state. So right now I'm going to show you how to grind cinnamon. So the cinnamon is in its original state as a stick. A lot of people talk about, fake cinnamon versus real cinnamon. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Cassia cinnamon is the type that's mostly in the grocery stores, and it's less expensive than the real Ceylon cinnamon. But believe me, this is way more flavorful than any cinnamon you buy that's powdered in the grocery store because it's freshly ground. So I'm going to show you how to do it really easily. Just stick with me, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that. So let's do it. Okay, so the first way is kind of tedious, but if you don't have a blender, then this is like your go-to here. So you just need the small side of a hand grater, and you just take the cinnamon stick, and I wouldn't go back and forth. I just go in the motion of like grinding only when you're going downwards, in the downwards motion. So grinding like that, and when you keep going in this downward motion, you're gonna end up grinding the cinnamon stick into small bits. So while I do this for like maybe a minute or two, I'll just explain why you would want to grate your cinnamon stick or any of your herbs. Well, for one thing, it would avoid having any fillers in it. Like say you go to the grocery store, you buy cinnamon, and you buy a package of it, it's already ground up into powder. You're assuming that you're getting cinnamon sticks ground up, right? But actually, the Indian Institute of Spices Research did a study and actually tested grocery store spices and found that when we're talking about cinnamon, that 70% of them didn't just have cinnamon in them. They actually had other additives put in there, flavoring, dyes, as well as the shell dust of beech nut, hazelnut, and almond. So when you buy packaged cinnamon that's already in the powder form, you may not be even actually getting 100% cinnamon sticks. And that's one of the reasons why your spices aren't going to be as flavorful or as aromatic. Like, it smells so good. It'd be so nice if you could smell what I'm smelling right now. I will say it's a bit of a good workout to do it this way, but if you don't have a blender, fear not. You can always find a way around these challenges. Okay, so this is, I'm trying to show you, this is how much it made, one stick ground up of cinnamon. Okay, this cinnamon now should probably run it through a strainer of some sort, a small strainer, because the last thing you want is like a bigger chunk of cinnamon in your cooking, whether you're cooking with cinnamon for savory dishes or whether you're using it like, for dessert or even on your oatmeal, guys. Believe me, the taste is completely different when you use fresh cinnamon, even on something as simple as your oatmeal. So this is how much it made. I would say it made about a tablespoon for that one stick, and then you have this leftover. You can easily make some tea with the leftover bits of cinnamon that are too big to throw into your oatmeal, for example. You can make tea with that or something like that, or just toss it, I guess, but I don't like to waste anything. So that's method one. This is approximately 380 grams of cinnamon sticks, so I'm going to take about half of it, so we'll say 200 grams of cinnamon sticks, and I'm going to put it in my trusty Vitamix. So I will go ahead and grind that up, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so approximately 35 seconds later in the Vitamix, or you can use a blender just as easily, you will have this like nice cinnamon powder. And again, if only you could smell it, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this right now. because the difference is like night and day. Yes. This will make that 200 grams ground up makes probably, I would say, about a cup to three quarters of a cup to a cup of cinnamon powder. But it's going to stretch out longer. Sometimes if you're in the grocery store, you might notice that cinnamon sticks are a little bit more expensive than cinnamon powder. But I feel like you probably, where's the container? You would probably, if you bought something this size, it would go further than, say, like the powdered stuff, because it's more potent. Once you grind it, you'll be able to notice that this is like way more potent, and the aroma and the smell and the taste will go a lot further, so you don't need as much of it. So even though it might look like it's more expensive, in the long run, I don't think it would actually be more expensive, and it's definitely 100% cinnamon, whereas like those researchers found out that like at least 70% of what you might see at the grocery store that they say is cinnamon isn't actually cinnamon. It's got a lot of filler in it. So there's just one good reason, and again, it's going to take your cooking to another level because it just tastes so much better. You can use this technique, like I said, with just about any herb or spice. Generally, anything that comes in seed form, you can grind that up, dried up from the store, and just grind it up. An amazing difference between the packaged stuff. Oh, the other thing is that a lot of these herbs and spices, even if it was 100%, let's say, they sit in a warehouse for a really long time. So a lot of these herbs will lose their flavor and their potency because, you know, they do have medicinal properties in them. So you want to get the maximum out of your herbs, whatever it is that you're cooking with. I just thought I'd share that little tip. It's super simple. You probably already knew it, but it's worth the effort, honestly. And even if you have to do it by hand and, you know, strain out the bits, it's still worth it. You can do a little bit at a time for each meal that you're cooking, or for each meal that you're preparing, and you will notice the difference. So anyways, I hope you're having a good day, and ciao for now.